Peleus Panel Prep. Let's see how it does. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Gloss Garage, where we make detailing simple. My name's Doc, and today I have something special for you guys. So today we're going to be ceramic coating a 2023 or a 2024 Mercedes-Benz GLC. It's pretty much brand new, just a couple months old, and we're going to ceramic coat that vehicle, and we will be using the DIY Detail 5-year ceramic coating for that. The owner did, request for a 3-year one, but I ran out of the 3-year, so he's just getting a 5-year. So he's just gonna have max gloss, that's about it. But all in all, we will be doing a review in the middle of the video of the panel prep Peleus from Phoenix EOD. I did win this when Aaron was live with Papa Smurf. I answered the question right, and they sent me this, so I can't wait to use this. See what it is it really game changing? They say it's super slick, and then once it rubs off, it's squeaky clean, it gets grabby once everything is done, and it's a great at removing polishing oils. So I'm excited to try that. But all in all, the process, let me just run down everything super quick so you guys can go ahead and understand. I will be using Primus as the alkaline soap. Then I will move on to Incredible Suds for my contact wash. And after we're done, we're going to decontaminate the paint. And what we're going to use is the Stoner's iron remover. The reason why I'm using this is once I notice that I have foam and suds on the floor, if I do move on to the decontamination step with iron remover, it doesn't stain my concrete, which is amazing, and now I don't have to deal with the smell. Yes, it doesn't have the crazy color changing effects, but you still had to move on with the mechanical step regardless of the fact. So I'll be using the DIY Detail clay towel. For the wheels and tires, I will be using the Maniac wheel and tire cleaner. And once we're done with all that, we will move on to the owner's Pride Spotless as a water spot remover. This is another bottle that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and unclog and diminish those minerals off of the paint before we move on to the actual polishing step. And I will be using the DIY Detail Gold Standard Polish with probably the wool pad because it is a German paint. Typically they have harder paints, but I will first try off the least aggressive first, which will be the Gold Standard Waffle pad. And once we're done, we'll go ahead and apply Peleus onto the paint. Simple, easy. I will be using this trigger sprayer, the Toco one. I'm not going to be using the regular one. I don't like the ergonomics of these. I don't like the small trigger, as you can see. I just don't like this. I prefer the Toco, so I will be putting this one on and using it. And then from there, we coat the vehicle. Simple as that. All the products will be down below in the description. An update on the Labocosmetica lineup where we coated that Hyundai Tucson will be coming soon as well, so stay tuned on that. And I'm excited, and I will show a quick short later in the future, but I will fast forward everything from the wash and decon process, and I will focus more on the polishing aspect as well as the dedicated part of the Peleus Panel Prep. Oh, and I think Phoenix EOD is coming out with a Socrates sponge, which is for a rinseless wash sponge, so hopefully they come out with that. It's an SRS. So stay tuned. Nah, I'm joking. They're not coming out with that. But they stick with the Greek theme, and my name is Socrates. So, but all in all, let's go ahead, get started with the vehicle. For the wheels and tires, we used the Maniac wheel and tire cleaner diluted 5:1, and it just did a great job of just cleaning everything in one pass. This vehicle is only literally 3 weeks old, and that's about it. But all in all, it literally has less than 200 miles, and it cleaned up very nicely. I diluted Primus, diluted 1:5 in a 16-ounce dilution. So pretty much it was 2 ounces. So let's spray the vehicle down. This is a high alkaline soap. It is safe in direct sunlight. This is a black vehicle too, so I will then prove it to you that it will not damage anything. It will not damage the plastic, stain the plastics. And this is the reason why you pay for a higher quality type of soaps and stuff, because you want it to work as well as be safe for your paint. All right, so I sprayed the rest of the Primus on. We blanketed the whole vehicle. You even see the slight steam that's on the paint, and that is just fine. Nothing will happen to it. It is absolutely safe on, you know, in direct sunlight. It's just an amazing product, and it has a high alkalinity scale. So it's dragging that dirt and grime from the paint. Let me bring you in, and you can actually see it based on the color of the foam, how it's turning into a darkish vehicle, this darkish color. So what this will do, it will drag down that dirt and grime, and then once we rinse it off with the pressure washer, 90% of that dirt, grit, and grime will be gone. The sunny side, and we let it sit here and dwell. It's not going to damage the paint in any way. And let's start rinsing off. All right, so we finished rinsing off everything, and as you can see, it did not damage the paint. There's no streaking, there's no stains. That's because we're using a high quality base type of soap. So, and we removed 90% of the dirt and grime that was on the paint. That bird poop that's there is officially gone, and we're ready to go ahead and safely do our contact wash. So now what I'm going to do is spray on the DIY Detail Incredible Suds as a pH neutral soap to go ahead and do the contact wash, add more lubrication, and then we'll move on to the decontamination step with the iron remover and then with the clay process before we actually go ahead and polish the vehicle. And before we polish the vehicle, we'll be using the water spot remover as well, just to remove any slight minerals that's on the paint. It is a black vehicle and they're susceptible to a bunch of water spots. So let's get started. All right, so we're just gonna apply the Incredible Suds all over the paints and then do our contact wash. That's all we're gonna do. So let's get started with that. This is only 1 ounce of Incredible Suds in 16 ounces, and look at the foam. All right, so let's move along with our contact wash. We've already let Incredible Suds dwell there for about a minute, not too long. We already rinsed off 90% of that dirt and grime, and we put 1 ounce inside the foam bucket. And that's about it. I put the residual stuff that was inside the foam cannon in here, and look how much suds we got. It's a lot of suds. We put the grit guard back in. You do not need a 2-bucket wash method. You could go ahead and just use a 1-bucket wash because 90% of that dirt and grime is gone. But we're gonna go ahead and just start with the contact wash. See, look how much Primus removed off the paint. There's like literally no dirt. So you do not need 2 buckets, but as reinsurance is always good, if you have OCD, you can use a 2-bucket wash. Went to the lower panels. What do you see? No dirt. I tell people to use and go in smaller sections. This is an iron remover. It helps remove those iron particles. If you guys see a white vehicle, you will notice little orange specks on it. That means that's iron that's embedded into the paint. And we're gonna use this. Typically they smell awful. They smell like rotten eggs, but this is a Stoner's one. It has no smell, it's new. If you have unsealed concrete, it will stain your concrete unless you have soap all over the place like I do at the moment, and it's not going to do so. So you go and spray sections and do 1 to 2 sections at a time. I am in direct sunlight. This is a black vehicle, so you really want to be careful and wary of this. And I have some Incredible Suds. We pretty much have no dirt, no grime inside that bucket. We removed everything off the paint. It was super clean. You even saw the wash mitt on how clean it was. I'm just using the Incredible Suds as more lubrication. I put 1 spray, let it dwell a little bit, and it will rinse off whatever tiny little streaks that you get during this process. It will be easily polished off, so no need to worry about it. This paint is literally 3 weeks old. and it has its regular dealer marks and wash marks, but that's because the dealer does a PDI called a pre-delivery inspection, and they have their detailers touch up the vehicle. And trust me, it's not the highest quality type of work, but yeah, so we're just removing this little tiny minuscule left of iron. The paint is super smooth, but we want to make sure and have a peace of mind that we're removing anything and removing any variables that may cause the ceramic coating not to stick. As we move on, for the water spot remover, I use Owner's Pride Spotless, which is one of the best in the game for sure, and I went ahead and applied it, even though if you're in direct sunlight, you want to work in quicker sections, and the purpose of this is to diminish the minerals, not necessarily remove those water spots, but all in all, it helps break all that water tension and unclog the pores of the paints. That way, if there are any slight minerals, we're not polishing those minerals deeper into the paint, which may, in the future, resurface, and then you have water spots all over again. As for the wheels, I ended up applying the Owner's Pride ceramic detailer. That way it's easier to clean the brake dust on the wheels and tires for the future wash, and typically this will really last about 2 to 3 weeks on the vehicle, maybe a month, but that's about it. And as we move on to the tires, I ended up using the Labocosmetica, which is a tire trim gel, and from there I just let it seep into the tires and rubbers. I know it looks wet, but once the rubbers of the tires starts absorbing it, it just turns to a nice dark deep sheen. All right everyone, so this is how the vehicle looks after we wash, clayed, decon, everything, and we've already done a test spot with the DIY Detail Gold Standard, and this is the test spot right here. We enhance and enrich the gloss on it compared to the rest of the vehicle, as you see here. So we will be using that to get these type of results, make it shinier, glossier, and then we'll move on to the coating step. But this is how the vehicle looks. Then we're going to use the Panel Prep Peleus. But all in all, the paint is in really good condition. It's a brand new vehicle. We don't need to be aggressive. We're just enhancing the shine, enhancing the gloss. That way it looks and can be a little bit more perfect than possible. Again, we're not going for perfection. We just want to make sure that the coating bonds. All right, let's do a quick review on the panel prep from Phoenix EOD called Peleus. I've already panel prepped the roof and stuff, so let me just do 1 to 2 sprays here because this is still the same towel, and it doesn't smell like straight alcohol, but there's something I really want to express in general, and it is this. So when you just apply it onto the panel, no pressure, it starts flashing instantly, and for the buff off, it is just absolutely insane on how slick it is as well. And we're just gonna polish or buff this off. No pressure whatsoever. It's super slick, and then after 5 or 10 minutes or so, it ends up being like grabby. Like now everything is completely off the surface. So yeah, that's about it. Very, very nice panel prep. As we move on to the ceramic coating process, we ended up giving this vehicle the DIY Detail 5-year ceramic coating, although the owner really opted for a 3-year ceramic coating, but I ran out of the 3-year from DIY Detail and of course other brands that I enjoy using. So the owner is blessed and he's getting the DIY Detail 5-year ceramic coatings, which is one of the glossiest ceramic coatings that DIY offers in their lineup, and as well overall in the marketplace that I've used so far. But it's very easy, very simple to apply. All you do is just apply it on the applicator, prime your applicator the first time, and it is about 50 degrees outside, and the work time is phenomenal for the DIY Detail products. So I am pretty much able to coat the entire hood before I'm ready to level off the rest of the coating. And this ceramic coating does rainbow at first, and once the rainbow starts dissipating, that's when you're able to remove the ceramic coating, and it will still feel slick as snot under your towel. And that's it. You just repeat this process throughout the entire vehicle and we're done. So I will see you on the outro. So we just finished ceramic coating the entire vehicle on this 2024 GLC. It looks amazing, much glossier than before, but that is the purpose what a ceramic coating does, and it will help protect it, of course, definitely through the winter. It's a 5-year ceramic coating. We applied the DIY Detail 5-year ceramic coating, which on their lineup is the glossiest ceramic coating that they offer. Also, as a review for their Peleus Panel Prep from Phoenix EOD, this is how much we've used. We saturated the towel, panel prep to remove any residual polish residue that was left on the paints. That way the ceramic coating can actually bond. And one thing about Peleus that I did notice was, like I said, it was very slick. When you applied it, it flashed off nicely and it was slick to go ahead and do the buff off. And then after that, we went and polished the vehicle, or not polished, ceramic coated the vehicle, and it was very easy to do. And after 5 to 10 minutes with Peleus, what happens was once it flashed, it gets grabby on the paint, so you're not marring or scratching the paint. It was just a phenomenal panel prep. So that's all I got. Let's do the walk around. All the products will be down below in the description for you guys to order. If you guys want 10% off on any DIY detail products, use code DMS at checkout. And if you guys want 15% off on any Labocosmetica products, you guys could go ahead and use DMS15 at checkout. Or the owner's Pride products is use code EcoWashTheWorld for 10% off. But pretty much, I get all these savings pretty much for you guys, literally. And yeah, so let's take a look on the walk around on how the vehicle ends. And let me know what you guys think about the results. So I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.